Kelly, I'm sporting my new gold tie. What do you think?
It looks good. Your golden scarf?
Yes.
Yeah, it looks good.
Maybe I should wear a gold scarf in California and a silver one in Nevada.
Yeah, you can do that.
But you know what? There's more gold being pulled out of Nevada than anywhere else.
That's true.
Kelly, can you believe that we're actually outrunning another storm today?
Seems like every week lately.
Yeah, it was a really windy windstorm when we left Hawthorne, and it started to clear out, but we're heading towards Tonopah right now. It's not too bad. California is just on the other side of those mountains. We came in off US 95 south to Tonopah. From Tonopah, for a short distance, you catch Highway 6, and then you take this cutoff going north, Nevada 376. And basically, this will take you to almost the dead center of the state of Nevada. And there's the Round Mountain Gold Corporation mine right here by Hadley. And this is the Big Smoky Valley, this area here. And it's the next valley over from the Reese River Valley. And that's almost immediately east, a little bit south from the Yamba Shoshone tribal lands, is this mine right here, the Park Canyon mine. And it is 32 miles between Carver's and Kingston, which is south of Austin, Nevada, and a little bit over halfway from Carver's, you'll come to the turnoff for the mine. And that's where we were. We're just south of Tonopah, Nevada, and there's a big solar array in a circular formation around that tower, and all the sunlight is concentrated on that tower to produce and harvest solar energy. Very interesting. Just on the outskirts of Tonopah, Nevada. And pretty soon there's a little graveyard right in there. And right next to it is the infamous, world famous, creepy Clown Motel. Passing through downtown Tonopah yet again. Highway 6 just outside of Tonopah. As you can see, it's a very lightly traveled highway, even for Nevada. Kelly, I heard you got tore up by a cat yesterday.
Yes, I did. My own house cat.
And where we're going is the old Park Mine, and it's going to be in the east side of the Toyabe mountain range. Did you know there's a lot of big cats up there?
Yeah, I read that. That has me a little concerned. I mean, you know, I know how hard it hurt, how much it hurt with a house cat. I can't even imagine a big lion.
Did you know I'm carrying heat today?
Yes, thank God you are.
Making that left turn to Highway 376 north. In between the Reese River Valley to the west and the Yamba Indian Reservation is the Toyabe mountain range. And in this section over here, by this alkali flat, is the Big Smoky Valley. You can see down here where Carver's is located. You come up 376, and there's a turnoff right there to get to the Park Canyon mine. It's 3.1 miles to get to the mine, and is not passable on a highway car. So we ended up walking up there. I really like this area of Nevada off Highway 376, even up towards Kingston and all these little places. There's actually, it's so remote, but there's so many places to see up here, aren't there?
Yeah, there is. There is quite a few little ghost towns, excursions off the road.
And there's never a lot of crowds. It's pretty nice. I think the most people we saw is one time we were in Kingston. They were having some kind of open fishing day, and there was a bunch of people in the pond in Kingston doing some fishing. That's the most people we saw, I think.
It was like 5 or 6.
Technically, we just entered the Big Smoky Valley.
The mine Round Mountain is on the right side of the highway, and on the left side is the community where the people live.
So that little community right by the mountain is where they live.
Yes.
And then right across the road is a big, huge gold mine. Mountains and mountains of tailing pile. Goes a coyote running across the road. That was a big, healthy coyote, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
That was a big one. Almost looked like a dog.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Well, I guess at some point the wolves will be coming back into Nevada from the north. I know they're in those other states north of us. So. Passing through Carver's, Nevada, which is just north of the big gold mine. This is a very good view of the Big Smoky Valley. And of course it does look hazy. We just turned off the paved highway. We're heading up into the mountains. The road's a little bit sandy. brushed a little rock.
Yeah.
It's got to go slow through that. Yeah, just take it easy. Well, we can always just pull over and walk up in there. It's not that far.
Yeah.
I can see the road's getting a little bit rougher ahead. See that spot right there?
Yeah, I do see that.
Yeah. We could. Might have to move some of those rocks if you want to. Maybe we should just park right here.
Okay.
Kelly, why don't I go up this road and I'll scout it out and see how bad the rock situation is.
Okay.
And I'll look for a place that we can just pull off this little road and not block it, and we'll just walk the rest of the way up there. We don't want to bang up your car.
No, we definitely don't.
These little plants called the desert mallow are an indicator of how spring's coming along. These are the old flower stalks from last year's blooms, and there's the new growth towards the bottom of them. Look at that there, big piece of steel, bolts on it. It's in real bad shape. You can see some of the snow that's in this canyon. There's Kelly on the ridge. The big Smoky Valley in the background.
He's not going to drink it. He's just washing up. There's too much algae in it, and the cattle are a little too close.
Nice and cold though.
Yeah, I bet it is.
Making some pretty good time. According to the map, it's about 3 miles away from where we parked.
This is not a number 2 road. I think at one time maybe it was, but it's washed out over the last few years.
It's getting a little bit steeper. Beautiful there, up in that ridge. You see the clouds racing by above the snow. About a quarter of a mile from our destination. How's the snow, Kelly? Is it icy?
Yep, it's not too, it's kind of soft.
Kind of soft still?
Yeah.
Kelly?
Yeah, yay, yippee.
They say this is one of the biggest ruins of its type in the state of Nevada. Dating from the late 1800s. Oh, it's big, I can tell already. Looks like a castle. Look at that. Goodness. Wow.
Oh,
This reminds me of I saw a picture of the Citadel in Susa. It's in the Iraq area. I think it's in Iran. It looks similar to this ruin. At least it reminds me of it. Look at that. I thought I saw something moving up there. Maybe it was a bird. It's amazing it's still standing with all the snow they get up here.
Look at all this fantastic stone. The way it's all put together and all. We think that it may have all came from here because it would have been so labor intensive to get it up here.
It's still pretty straight. I kind of wish I brought a level or a plumb line up here. It's still pretty straight.
It's pretty fantastic.
Look how straight that wall is, still plumb. It's a big wall too. It's nothing small. It looks more like a citadel or a castle than a stamp mill to me. Kelly's gonna use this spot where they made a campfire with some of the rubble, a fire ring. The Park Canyon Silver Camp operated basically from the years 1865 to 1870, and it's in the center of the North Twin Rivers mining district. So what do you have for lunch today, Kelly?
Well, we're having some sandwiches with some lunch meat and some fruit and tomatoes and nuts and some cream cheese for spread.
Healthy.
Yep.
Where are those cookies at? That's what everyone wants to know.
You have to walk all the way back down and get those.
Look at all the weight of that stone just above this 3 pieces of wood of that span. It's a lot of weight. Kelly, are you ready to scramble around these ruins and look around?
Yeah.
They're huge, aren't they?
They are.
From 1865 to 1867, the gold ore that came out of here was sent to Austin, Nevada for the milling. You can see the size of that entryway with Kelly in it. In July 1867, there was a 10 stamp mill here for 2 years. The La Plata Company had 2 years of operations here. Just a really fascinating view. There's the big Smoky Valley in the distance, and the valley floor below. And through the snow. There's the wall even on this side. It's a massive site. It's a really beautiful location. Get a little closer to this. A lot of the trees and brush has grown into it, but gotta remember this is from the late 1800s. Look at that. Look at that part of the wall where it's just teetering on disaster. A lot of the ruins are very unstable, just barely holding on. Where the rainwater has washed away some of the rocks. Look, Kelly, where the earth is washed out and those rocks are barely holding together there.
Yeah, I don't think I'd stand on that.
No, I noticed that when I was coming up the hill. I was really careful. Oh yeah, look at that.
Those are pretty sophisticated.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
sophisticated. You can see there's like channels for water made from the rock. The mountain behind it is very impressive also. Look at the cliffs, just amazing. And then from this view, if you turn this area, there's another amazing view. Let's take a look. Look at the bricks on the arch. Such a picturesque setting for a mine ruin as this. The peak to the south is called French Peak, and it's 10,779 feet tall. And the next higher peak to the north is called the Toyabe Range Peak. It's 10,960 feet. So it's almost 11,000 feet. It was interesting to see how there was those stone, it's like almost like a stone water system or something under the ground, and then there was wooden pipes going through the stone.
Yeah, pretty elaborate structure up here.
Unfortunately, the ravages of time have destroyed a lot of it, but a lot of it's still standing, particularly the walls that look very straight.
Oh my gosh, yes.
This part of the wall fell. You can see the corner. Let's see what's left of it. That's a very expansive building.
In 1937 to 1941, there was an 800-foot tram with a 10-ton ore bucket that transported down the mountain, with $12,000 was produced from that.
So they shut down the mine right around during the Second World War, like a lot of the mines. I noticed the last year was 1941, and 10 tons, that's 20,000 pounds. And that's a long way, 800 feet. And I don't know, it doesn't sound like it produced much gold at that time to me.
Well, 12,000 doesn't sound much to us, but maybe it was
1941.
Yeah.
There's another shot from this side. We're enjoying just observing and looking at all the different angles of all the different sides of the big building. And I don't believe that I've seen any pictures of what it looked like back in the day, but you got to remember it was the late 1800s when it was first built. So earlier pictures probably very hard to come by. Of course, it was in operation until 1941, so there must be some pictures somewhere. Someone has some pictures of this. So we have Kellie, the curator of the Mineral County Museum in Hawthorne, Nevada. She had a couple things to say about this wall here.
Well, look at how it's starting to deteriorate down in here. I mean, it's been sitting here for a very long time, and it's done pretty well, but I imagine eventually it's going to crash down and it's going to go in time. Hopefully, you know, maybe somebody will redo the YouTube videos later in time when YouTube is not a popular thing, and they'll still have pictures of at least this.
Right. So you do a lot of that in the museum, where you see older types of technology and that of documenting history. Mm-hmm. So even though this is a digital YouTube documentary, and at some point 50 years from now, this wall may not be here. Maybe the whole mountains will like slide off.
This will be the documentary.
Right. You never know. He spends a lot of time cataloging and researching and put it in the history. And the thing that's amazing is that in Mineral County, you wouldn't think out in Mineral County, Nevada, there's so much history. There's a ton of history, a ton of stories about very interesting characters and lifestyles and mining and just
That's
all
true.
kinds of stuff that you would never thought.
That's
Because
right.
a lot of people haven't never even heard of Mineral County, Nevada.
That's true.
So it's surprising. And the thing we noticed too, that all the places that we go, is that even in the late 1800s, when people didn't have automobiles and they're traveling on horses, burros, and mules, they scoured all this country. It's a big country, it's a lot of territory, and they were looking for gold everywhere.
No stone unturned. They checked everywhere for minerals and gold and silver everywhere. There's just holes everywhere.
There's a little bit of steel right there. It's actually pretty heavy. Look into the Big Smoky Valley below. You gonna go back down around?
Yeah, back where we came.
Gonna make my way down the base of it around the other side. Some snow right here. There's another angle. That's where we had our lunch. Where our pack is right there. Look at the size of these walls. There's one of those. It looks like a place for the water to come out, perhaps. See that? Can't imagine the scaffolding they must have had up and the amount of crews they had working on this. Incredible. There's a tree that's come up in the wall. There's a distant mountain. Very, very scenic and very interesting. From 1885 to 1891, there were 2 mines. There was a mill from Jefferson brought in, and a furnace from Austin, Nevada was brought in. In 1905, the Brooklyn Group, the Millet Gold Mining Company, took over. In 1891, the mill and furnace sold for $500. We really like the view and the location around here, and we can imagine on a nice clear day you could see for miles and miles in the valley. In 1911, it was sold to the Smoky Valley Mining and Milling Company. Sure enough, Kelly found it. It's right there. Right past the snowflakes. Let's go up this a little bit farther because I think I spotted something else up the road here a little bit. We're so close, might as well check it out. Right by this creek also, here's another big chimney. You can see where there was a big house. I wouldn't say it was a cabin. I'd say this is some kind of like either some kind of a smelter or a big house. Look at the size of that. Maybe it had something to do with the mine. It's fairly close. Look at that. That was the hearth.
That was a good sized hearth, that's for sure.
That was a very good sized hearth.
Yeah, whatever it was around, it was gone, but sagebrush is taken over.
Snow is starting to fly. That's one of the biggest chimneys we found. Could very easily have been a large structure like a house or a big cabin. It's still got some soot from years ago. Look at how those are just holding themselves in there. Amazing.
Look at the size of this thing compared to Douglas.
That's a big one.
Yes, it is.
Are you keeping warm, Kelly?
Trying to.
It's just a snow squall, but it's coming down pretty good. We're gonna go up here just a little bit farther and see if we can find any more chimneys or any evidence of some of the buildings that used to be here years ago. That's too small to be a mountain lion. I think that could be a bobcat, but they're a little bit old. It's definitely got a paw to it. Might be a bobcat. There's another. See? That's how big it is. There's another one there. Definitely looks like the cat family. Not a dog. I think this little creek crosses. Let's just go up here and take a look. Some more of those tracks. Well, I think I'm going to turn around so we can head back so Kelly doesn't get chilled in the snow. Interesting. I'm on my way, Kelly. You ready?
Yeah.
We're heading back down the mountain, everybody, before we get snowed in. That's that tall chimney we checked out. And there's another one that we saw down in these trees. And I see something else there too. They seem to all be along the creek. Here's this other chimney. Oh, it's smaller. This is about what you'd expect for a house. There it is, the old hearth, and there's the lintel stone. Very interesting. Look behind it real quick. We're gonna have to skedaddle off this mountain real soon. I'll take a look at it. Oops. There it is. Oh, we found it, Kelly. I think it's like more of a normal sized one. Well, what did you think of our 6-mile round trip hike today?
This was a really good one. I liked it.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting out here. It's one of my, I think it's one of my favorite sites for an older building.
Yes, for an old building, it's pretty fun.
Glad you joined us, everybody. We'll catch you next time. Now that we got off the mountain, the snowing stopped, but it's raining. It's thundered about, what, 3 times, hasn't it?
Yeah, we've heard thunder.
Yeah. Kind of blew in, but look how dark those clouds are.